Welcome, lovely soul friend. Look, you're laying in the grass today. I was going to do like a magic ritual, which I thought I thought that I would do like a magic ritual, and sorry. Well, we have to keep this in. This is the importance of today's message. Yeah, for somebody who's tired, a magic ritual for somebody who's tired, for somebody that needs to have more strength in following through a path. And maybe you're in a circumstance, maybe you're in like a circumstance, a situation which you cannot really get out of, and the situation is draining you, and it's sort of like a challenge to you because you don't have the energy and you're tired. You don't have the energy to take action. And then I was kind of contemplating about it and thinking like, well, I don't have myself the energy to do this ritual today. The idea of the ritual was that every time that you kind of feel tired and you're in the shell, right? You're in the shell of energy, in the shell of strength that you have. And if you would allow that tiredness to observe the tiredness itself, to allow it space, then that shell would break and your energy would expand beyond that feeling of tiredness, and you would have more strength, and then the situation itself would kind of prove you that each and every time that you get tired, when you reach that edge, that you can go beyond the edge, and once you do, you become much more powerful. You gain much more strength and endurance in general. But kind of starting to channel and contemplate on it, I realized that the circumstance, if you are going through a circumstance which makes you tired, which has drained you, which has you feel like your hands are tied, then it is the most important it's one of the most important rules in the kind of magic book that we should, as a magician, follow, which is that not all magic, actually very little part, not very little, but like only part of the magic comes from the masculine side, which is taking action. And the feminine side in general, I would say that, like women or some people in general do better at feminine side, but the world in general doesn't or has forgotten the feminine side of existence, being and magic. And that's why I mentioned this like in many videos, and I mentioned this again and again, because I myself gain deeper insight with the situations and with the challenges that I go through. So the feminine magic, so you can't take any action because you're tired. And the feminine action would be acceptance. Acceptance is release, and acceptance is also space. So if you feel like you've been battling something like energetically inside of yourself, circumstances which seem to be outside of you, egregores, kind of the opposite forces that oppose you, even like tiredness. Stop eating the phone. Jesus Christ. What's happening? That's her. So even the war inside of you, which is like, I want to do this, I want to follow my path, but I'm drained. Who's draining me? What are the astral forces draining me? But, and then you're like controlling, attacking everything, protecting yourself, and so forth and so on. And in certain times that is what's necessary, right? But then the intelligence that I'm talking about here is the mastery of balance. It's like it's knowing when to switch the sides, but like when to balance the scales. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Intelligence when to balance the scales between the action of the masculine energy, we act, we plan, and then we accept, because no matter what, if you see your opposing forces in this dreaming, in this matrix, whether these are people, whether these are astral energies, whether these are just like states of limitation within yourself, without accepting them from time to time, without coming like complete release. So what do I mean by acceptance? It's like surrender, right? It's like surrender through, you surrender and you feel liberation, because you kind of show yourself that you don't actually have to fight. But then at some point you might have to go back again to the masculine energy and do something about it, And that's where the true intelligence on kind of the field comes. On the field, what I mean is that not just like intellectually, mentally, where you can say like, oh yeah, that's true, but no, you're like playing the game, you're playing the football, and you learn on the field that when to kick the ball and when to kind of accept what's happening, reserve energy, and give yourself time to rest, kind of surrendering the battle, yeah. And in today's message, kind of we are surrendering the battle, which makes us tired. This does not mean that we lose the path that we're following. It's just that the path right now requires surrender to bloom in something larger, to expand, right? To expand. And how does a path, like let's say you're working on something, and this is like we're talking about today, that you're on a path on working on something, but you're tired, right? So how is it going to expand when I'm gonna kind of give it this feminine side of me and go like, okay, hands up, I give up, trying to figure it out, trying to do something about it. So this space is going to allow for ideas to come. By the way, it's synchronicity that my little kitty kitten came. She kind of, because like feminine, like feline, yeah, also represent, I think, feminine energy. Just laying in the grass and licking yourself. Some Egyptian friends coming through with yeah, with the way it was in ancient Egypt as well. So I'm feeling like what I'm sensing now is that in general, not just a message for our personal paths, but this feminine magic, which is not direct, but rather kind of a release type of magic. Because release is it's super hard for many of us, right? Because we're so attached to so attached to control, so attached to what appears in the physical, family, friends, job, work, house, feelings in ourselves. So liberation is often the hardest part, release and liberation and surrender, because it's like, it's the ultimate trust in the divine. It's in the ultimate trust that divine energy field is intelligent, and it carries you with love, and it carries you with everything is going to be okay. In itself, in its essence, it's like a codex written in the universe that everything is going to be okay sooner or later, and that kind of allows you to surrender. But I think this surrender in our we're gonna spend some time doing like masculine magic, and then we're gonna from like cycles go, and we're gonna have to surrender again. We're gonna surrender, we're gonna release all of it, then we're gonna go back to doing some magic, then we're gonna release. And this experience on the field is going to change, like I think it's going to change humanity in general. And I feel like this message also today was somehow inner earth came through, inner earth. So I think something from inner earth kind of wanted me to say that the more this is going to be the case, the more these higher realms, which are the inner earth, the people that live in the inner earth, and also the people from the stars, that will be closer with them, and they will be more present with us, following that path. I think naturally we will follow this path anyway. Yeah, but I know we will, but so if you cannot change your circumstances today, allow yourself to surrender the circumstance in the first place. Yeah. It's like cleaning your disk space. Yeah, cleaning your disk space, basically. All right. It was nice to sit with you here today, my lovely soul friends. And I'll see you all later. See you all another day. I know that there will be definitely a lot of things and magic coming through at the end of the August, and as well as in the September. So it's all right if a moment of clearing, a moment of surrender again needs to happen again and again, and opening up space for something more pristine, more divine, more ancient, more miraculous, and more surprising and amazing in every way. Love yous very much. Bye for now.